Like I said, like my angel and my devil. My angel is Bryce and my devil is Spencer. Literally. Those are two voices in my head.
Dude, that seems like a fine choice.
Yeah, jump out of a helicopter.
It's like, don't do that.
No, that's dumb.
You will die.
You're fucking stupid. Please stop.
I say that with love.
1, 2, 3, go!
Yes! Thank you. She knows what's up.
We make the guest clap on this show.
I direct everything from here on out.
Little do you guys know, she's actually behind the camera.
I am SCS.
We're just her puppets.
Literally. Just Alexa's marionettes.
New podcast title.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that'd be sick.
Okay.
Off to you, Michaela.
You usually say hi.
Oh, hi!
There it is.
And we've started!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Sometimes Ciabatta Slaps.
I'm Mac.
I'm Jubes.
And we are back with the Queen of Chaos herself, Miss Alexa Narang. Y'all know her from a few episodes ago. Yay! Yeah, her episode went really well, so we brought her on again for some more clout.
My 20,000 family members just...
It actually was. There was like, I don't know, it was like 47 downloads and stuff, and which is like triple the amount that we're normally to do. And I was like, oh, it's all of our family members.
Amazing what happens when you add another person with a huge family.
Yeah. No, it's so good. But no, we are back not to talk about body dysmorphia more. We're now going to tap into Alexa's love life.
and all of our relationship adventures.
Yes, the theme is relationships. Thankfully, my fun little spicy contributions have had none, so this will be mostly me just quizzing Alexa's journey.
Well, I've only ever had one, so...
And I've had many.
We bring all sides of the story.
Oh, so good. Anyways, anyone got some fun catch-up things they want to say first? Any fun events? Did you hit any more ditches? Or
I was gonna say, what's happened in my life that you guys haven't already talked about on the podcast?
Yeah, that's a mood also.
At work the other day, Alexa's like, yeah, big fan energy with talking about me.
Well, like, sometimes I forget, like, I'll put your guys' podcast on, and I'll be listening to it in the background, and then I forget that it's you two, and, like, you guys are a part of my life, and then I'll hear my name, and I'm like, wait, what? Hold up. Alright, they know me.
When they say Alexa, they actually mean me.
Yeah. Not screaming at a little Amazon box.
Oh my goodness. My birthday's on Sunday, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's my big life thing.
By the time you hear this, yeah, your birthday will have passed already.
I'll be 23. I think, right?
Yeah.
Are you looking at us?
Yes.
I don't know. Michaela gave me a very confused look, and I was like, am I not actually 23?
Because I have it in this impression that, like, I'm under the impression that we are born the same year, but we are not.
I know.
You're a year later, but then I'm 2 years older than you for most of the year. Just on where our birthdays line
up.
up.
Were you 98 or 97?
I'm 98, but I'm May of
Whoa,
98.
Really?
Yeah.
19. Your birthday starts at 19.
19?
Yeah, yours doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm a child.
That's weird.
I am 19.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, so I'm 98, you're 99, but
You
like...
only have a couple more months to beat teenage pregnancy.
There's a couple of steps there that would have to happen first, but...
So getting into that, what's your relationship status currently?
Let's not discuss that in the moment.
It's complicated. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if it's complicated or if I'm complicating it, but I think it's complicated, and I think that's what we've decided on.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Fair enough.
Great way to start relationships. I don't know if I'm in one.
I don't know.
Can't wait for him to listen to this. Just be like, Alexa, said you wouldn't talk about me.
It's okay. That's it for
You
him
didn't listen
today.
to the last one. I'm not too concerned.
It's okay.
Oh, and you're gonna hate my first question here.
Oh no.
So, because of the complications and stuff, can relationships work after a break?
Well, I've had it kind of every which way. So I had my first. I've only had 2 relationships that I didn't go back to them. I'm like the first one, the second one, third. Yeah, I kept going back.
Okay, so you have lots of experience with this then.
Yeah, plenty of experience here. I think yes, just like both parties have to actively work to change themselves, and like I'm too forgetful to remember who I am most of the time, so like it's pretty easy for me. I'm kidding. I think you can evolve pretty quickly. Like life can change in a snap, and you can like grow in 2 seconds or whatever. So I think but also like. In my experience thus far, up until this current complicated situation, thus far, no.
No?
You need to give yourself, like, a proper break.
Yeah. That makes sense. You need to actually just, like, put space in the break as well, not just time.
But also, like, when I think about my situations, like, we'll get into it later, but, the breakups themselves were really bad, like for really bad reasons, and then getting back together was like really dumb on my part. And if you ask Journey's boyfriend, all my getting back together decisions are dumb on my part. So.
He gets so heated about it, and I've never known him to be so invested in one of my friends' relationships ever.
When do you guys have this conversation?
Alexa and I talked about this at work the last couple of days.
She started.
Bryce is so adamantly against her getting together with.
When did you guys have that conversation?
I don't know, but she opened it up with me and Bryce were talking about how attractive you are, and I'm like, hold up.
Well, yeah, because you're really hot.
Thank you. I just need to say that so I can be like reaffirmed.
Alexa, if you want me to tell you you're pretty, you don't have to ask.
Oh gosh, thank you.
I'll tell you.
No, but I was like, we're in the middle of work and I'm like, just like unloading dishes, and she's like, yeah, we were talking about how attractive you're on. I was like, hold up. When does that come into conversation for you two? So Journey's relationship currently revolves around moi.
They're looking for a third.
You are right.
They have a third, they're looking for a fourth.
A distraction from the third.
Literally. Oh my goodness.
A playdate night.
A playdate.
A babysitter.
Oh my goodness.
That's good.
No, we were just like talking about you, and then it came up obviously how attractive you are, and then I said that you're getting back together with so and so. And he was like, oh, that's just so dumb. I don't get it. She just deserves so much better. And I was like, yeah, well, I know.
I'm like, my guy, we've talked about it twice. And the first time we were together, the second time you were being like, don't go back.
You brought it up so casually at work, and I was like, pardon?
Hold on.
Let me just clean my ears right quick and not cough, hopefully.
Yeah, I was going to say, minus throw up?
Yeah, I'll clean my ears, cough a little bit, and then you can say it again.
Oh my goodness.
So good. So then, like, yeah, you touched on your complicated past, but, like, what is your past?
Oh, where do we begin? So, first relationship, things were meh. Like, this was, like, your typical, like, middle school relationship. And then we broke up because he sent my explicit photos to all of his friends, and they ended up being sold around my high school.
Sold.
Yeah.
You're good then.
I know.
Did you profit?
I was before OnlyFans.
You should have got some
No,
royalties.
I did not.
Oh my gosh. That's actually not ideal.
No, like, for the most part, I didn't care. Like, I don't... But it was, like, when it was... There was, like, a couple times where it'd be, like, shown to me, like, really quickly by, like, a random guy. And I'm like, I didn't need to see that. And then that would, like, panic me. Oh. For the most part, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And, like, now I'm like, I care even less, because that's illegal.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah. My second relationship, that could be 3 episodes in one. Anyone who knows me knows that, or was there for it. It's like, we were very close friends throughout. No, that's a lie. So we, like, dated in, like, the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Where, like, as much as you can date in 6th grade, we didn't talk to each other the entire time at school. We just, like, text each other. And then we didn't speak for all of grade 7. And then in grade 8, our parents dated. So then we were forced to talk to each other again. They broke up. And then a year later, after his best friend sent my photos everywhere, I started dating him. Yeah, and then it was just a roller coaster up and down.
That's super fun.
Yeah, because neither of us should have been in a relationship with each other. And then he was very attached to me, and I am like, if you're gonna come back, I might as well take it.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm like, I got nothing better.
I love the little, like, transition to, like, dating. Well, almost siblings. No, actually, back to dating.
And welcome to small town Alberta.
yeah, that's true.
Where you're either dating your cousin or...
Yeah, Bryce dated his cousin in 3rd or 6th grade, but they're not, like, close cousins. It's like they dated, and then a couple years later, they're like, oh, like, my aunt's ex-husband is married to your aunt, kind of thing. So they're, like, cousins, but not by blood.
Oh, well, my mom and his dad only dated for, like, 3 months, so it was not a big deal. I mean, it might have been. I'm not sure. I don't really ask about that relationship because it's really awkward.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like partially got sidetracked by the fact you had a phone in 6th grade.
I've had a phone since the 2nd grade.
It's wild.
What?
But that's mostly because I would have to watch my siblings for like an hour or two before my mom got home from work.
Yeah.
So like she just needed a way to contact me.
We had a landline.
Yeah, I know, me too.
No, we had a landline too, but this phone you could track, so it was a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, I didn't get my first phone until I was 16 and got my driver's license, and I begged for a first phone.
I mean, I got mine in 7th grade, so it wasn't that much longer, but still, like, wild.
No.
I still remember my elementary school's crush's phone number.
Oh my
And then I remember
gosh.
my best friend's phone number because I used to call them back to back. I'd call my crush and then I would immediately call my friend being like, guess what just happened?
That's adorable.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
so
like
sweet.
burned into my brain at this point.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I wish I had a memory like that.
I wish I had a memory. I don't know why I remember this shit. Like, I don't need it.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's Dory in Finding Nemo? Angelfish? Is that her fish name type? I don't know.
I don't have any
I just
idea.
call it the Dory fish.
Yeah, that's what she's called now.
Yeah.
I thought she was like a tropical blue.
I was just going to say then you have the memory of an angelfish, but I can't even confirm or deny that.
What is Dory? The fish.
Welcome to relationships.
She's a blue tang.
Oh, bad tang.
Or a
Bad. Delete that.
Dory's a baddie.
Yeah.
Not to be mistaken with Dora. Anyways, how many, so that's 2. How many relationships have you had?
Let me do some math real quick. Okay. Oh, I always forget that one. I think 5.
Memorable.
5. I think is 5.
Okay. And so you're on number 2?
Am I with my timeline?
In
Yeah.
chronological order, we're at number 2.
So first one.
The next ones are soon to become.
Tune in next week.
No, we're
Every month
actually
there's just gonna be an update on my love life.
we're in the prequel right now, and then
Yeah.
I'm announcing my own podcast where I just tell you about my relationship.
It's called Alexis Marionettes.
Yeah, I just puppeteer journey into Kayla and be like, here's my relationships.
we have to act it out.
You don't want to act this
Pinocchio
out.
style.
I don't know if that'd be more traumatizing for you, me having to relive it or you having to go through it.
I don't know.
Okay, so after dating the almost cousin, then what's your next?
It was almost brother.
Almost
Oh,
Much
Get it right,
worse.
Michaela.
sorry, Alabama.
Well, after that, so that relationship was really messy. Mostly because he constantly thought I was cheating on him. And I was like, I got to a point, like, this is a common theme in my relationships. Maybe I should just date more, like, confident people. But, where they always think I'm either going to cheat on them, am cheating on them, or will cheat on them.
Is it because they know that you're above them? Like, you're out of their league?
Maybe. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think that I date people who are very obsessed with me. And then, I don't know how to reciprocate that because I'm chronically antisocial. And then, like, sometimes I'll be like, I want all your attention. And they're like, I'm not giving it. I'm like, oh, I don't like you anymore.
That's a mood. That's a whole mood.
Yeah. But, this one, it was like, we were both extremely mentally ill. Like,
Which doesn't help anything.
no. And then also, this was when I was 14. and he took my virginity. And I took his. So don't have sex when you're 14.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
When you're 14 years old, you can't really... It adds a whole new dimension to your relationship. And then everything becomes very adult, and you're very not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to put that, actually.
Yeah. But he was raised in, like, a chaotic kind of household because parents were divorced, and then not divorced, and then divorced. And then I was raised in a household where my parents are divorced, and then my mom was, like, dating his dad, his whole thing. So I keep bringing that up because I find it funny, but
There's a show where that happens too. I can't remember what show it is right now.
First thing that came to my head was the Fosters.
Oh no,
that's not what happened.
Riverdale.
Oh, yeah.
Riverdale.
Yeah, it was not like Riverdale.
Oh, yeah.
They did
Betty
not
and
have a
Jughead.
secret love child that was a serial killer.
Wow, spoilers.
Sorry.
What if I was actually gonna watch that?
And like, I think we were both just like too mentally ill to the point like we couldn't handle like ourselves and like we couldn't handle each other. But I stand by the fact that he was worse than I was because we would like I would be like, after the first 6 months, it's like, I don't want this relationship.
Yeah.
We dated for a year and a half.
Oh.
But I couldn't break up with him because he would be like, I don't know what to do without you. I can't live without you. Like, I'm gonna, if you leave me. And I'm like, I'm 14, 15.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do in this situation. Looks like we're dating. And then, we did actually break up, for like 3 days. Maybe more. Maybe like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
But after like the first day, he was like, I want us to get back together. And I'm like, no. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, yeah, why not? But the only reason I said, yeah, why not, is because I was moving at the end of the school year.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, there's
a timeline.
I'm like, there's a timeline. We're going to break up. And then we ended up, here's the kicker of all this. Throughout a year and a half, him accusing me of cheating on him with not one, but 2 people. The reason we broke up is because my other ex, the one who sent out my photos, was dating this girl, and he thought that she had a crush on my current boyfriend.
Oh.
And so then they were like, I don't know if they fought and then were just like fighting or if they actually broke up that night. But she went and slept over at my boyfriend's house.
Oh.
And he didn't tell me. So I found out through Snap Maps when I was in BC. So I wasn't even in town. I was like in another province. I found out when I was in BC that she slept over. And then I heard from the rest of his friends and like the guy himself what happened that night. And I was like, we're done.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that's my cue.
Oh.
I was so mad.
That's so much drama.
And then 6 months later, he was like, I'm still in love with you. And I was like, I live in Calgary. You're 3 hours away from me.
Yeah.
And so he came down to visit me. And like we were driving around in his car or whatever. And then I was like, we can't date. We can't get back together. And then he was so mad at me. He was like, I can't believe you did that. You let me on, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I live 3 hours away.
Yeah, I
you
don't
thought
know
I
what
was
you
cheating
want
on you when we had all the same classes. What are you going to think now?
True. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. And then he texted me like a week or two later when he was still pissed at me. And he was talking about the girl that slept over his house. He was like, well, she actually loves me and cares about me and blah, 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 blah. And then blocked me. And they dated for a year and a half. And then as soon as they broke up, he was blocked on my phone. Like, I was like, I'm not having you anymore.
Yeah.
And again, my other ex texts me and he's like, hey, like, so-and-so is like doing really, really bad. Like, can you please talk to him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you can't guilt me like that because I'm traumatized from it. So I'm like, yeah. So I caved and then we talked and then I was like, I'm still not dating you.
Yikes.
Yeah. And that cycle just
wild.
continued. His girlfriends would make him block me. And then as soon as they were broken up, which would be like a month because they'd realize, hey, he's still in love with her.
Yeah.
Up until his most recent relationship, that was like the on and off. And I think I blocked him. So I don't think he can contact me anymore.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's fun.
That relationship.
It's a whole spider web.
Oh, there's so many details in there too, but we do not have the time for me to dive into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So many details in there. I'm like processing. You are so much patience. There's no way I could tolerate half of that.
That's not even the worst one.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue or do you want an intermission so I can quiz Jern for a little bit?
We can intermission.
Up to you. Okay, so on the reverse, Journey is with her high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? Like, how did you first start that? What's your story?
Oh, he's so cute. Okay, so I was in grade 10, and I was this cute little homeschool kid, and he was this cool guy in my drama class who I thought was just the most confident, just cute guy I've ever seen in my entire life, and he was so easy to talk to and so fun to be around, and I just loved it. And then I found out that he had a girlfriend, and I was just devastated. But then I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like, he's just cute. I'll just hope that they break up, but not really hope that they break up because that's kind of mean. So it was just in the back of my brain. And then a year later, they did break up because that was a good thing. And then we were sitting in the school canteen, and I was with a bunch of girls just reading my book. And then he was with a bunch of guys, and one of our friends was throwing like paper airplanes at us, and I was just ignoring it because they were just being really loud, and I just really wanted to read my book. And
Such a journey thing to do.
yeah, but on the paper it said, "Hey, Bryce likes you." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love it." But then I was like, no. But then another girl stole them because she had a huge crush on him, and so then I didn't get to see them until a little while later. And then I was like, you know what? Like, they're not whatever. So I started talking to this other guy. And then I was like, oh, I really like him. And then he's like, no, I can never date you because Bryce thinks you're really cute. And I was like, fine, okay.
I'll settle for Bryce.
Because I was like devastated because I was like, I wanted to date this guy. But then I was like, wait, actually Bryce is like really, really cute. So then a little while later, I was in physics class, and my friend was sitting in the canteen doing her psychology whatever, and Bryce comes into the canteen and asks her for my number. And so then we went for lunch that day, me and my friend, she's like, we get in the car, she's like, guess what just happened? And I was like, what? She's like, Bryce asked me for your number. And I was like, yay! And so we just got really excited because she knew I had the biggest crush on him. And then we went for lunch with my family, I think, and then Bryce and all his buddies came in there, and I was telling them how excited I was that Bryce asked for my number, and she's like, shh, he's right there. And then we started texting, and then we went on a fake date because Bryce said that they weren't dates until we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So we went out for lunch one day during school as our separate selves, and then we went out on another date and saw a movie and went for dinner, and then he wrote me a poem and asked me to be his girlfriend, and I've had it in the back of my phone ever since.
Aww.
It's
So
adorable.
like, that's like so cheesy. It's like very much like rom-com
I know.
style.
Yep. And then the 6 years, pretty much.
And then but one thing with your relationship that's like unique is how long you did long distance for.
Yeah, that's true.
How was that?
That sucked. That royally sucked. It was because we'd only been dating for a year before I left. Mm-hmm. So we were still people who like were so separate. Like after long distance, we had grown so much. Mm-hmm. And then we were both living two different lives, where I was trying to live an academic life where I was a poor college student and he was working full time. Mm-hmm. And so it was difficult that way for us to like sympathize with each other's struggles. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, oh, like I have this test on Tuesday that's really stressing me out. Like I think I'm gonna fail. And Brush is like, I don't even know where to begin because that doesn't matter in the real world. Mm-hmm. And then, but I couldn't hear that because I was very much in that world. And then once I graduated, it was better. Mm-hmm. But being in a long distance relationship with someone who hates texting, not it.
And as we learn, Journey's is quality time, her love language.
Yeah.
So
I just remember one of like the best like dates we had during long distance was we talked on the phone and played iPhone games together like through messages for 5 hours. It was probably so annoying for my roommate, but I loved it. It was so much fun. But yeah, it was just like trying to do things like that or like FaceTime. But when we had FaceTime, because he likes to be doing things all the time, he doesn't really enjoy sitting still. So he'd be like playing video games, so I'd just be like FaceTiming the roof while I'd hear him play video games, and then once every match ended, he would talk to me. And I was like, yeah, I hate this. This is not fun for me. But
Shit.
I know, I would just like time out our conversations. I'd be like, oh, half an hour's gone by, his game's probably done, he'll text me in a minute.
That's so cheesy.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I'm so glad COVID came and I got to come home.
Yeah, no kidding.
And we didn't have to do one more year of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fun.
Okay.
But now actually we've lived together longer than we were long distance.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
Isn't that exciting? So I like to celebrate that.
That is exciting.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about your experiences with relationships, Mac?
3 weeks in 8th grade, if you count that.
For the sake of this, we do, yeah.
Most we did was hold hands, and yeah, it was incredibly awkward.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then, yeah, not really dating anyone until I think I've started dating now, like what I'd call dating, is like within this
Yeah.
past year.
Like adult dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I never really went on dates or anything prior to that. I did this fun thing where I thought I was friends with a lot of guys who didn't want to be my friend.
Oh, I feel that.
They just wanted to be fuck buddies or what?
No, like they wanted to date me and I thought we were best friends.
Oh, I see. I see.
And so one of them in high school, I had no idea that he liked me. And it got to the point where I had to say, like, I'm like, no, I'm not into you like that. Sorry about that. I can't remember how that conversation got brought up or whatever. Oh no, scratch that. I do remember. We went for a drive, got some coffee and whatnot. We were chatting, and I was talking about how excited I was to like move. Like I'm out of this town. F that. Da 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 da.
Here you are.
I know, I'm back now, but he was so upset
Yeah.
that I was leaving. He was like, "I'm really gonna miss you," and I'm like, "We're buddies. I'll let you know when I'm in town or whatever." And he's like, "No, like I really like you." This is like right before grad as well.
Oh.
And I'm like, nope. Sorry about it. This guy was so petty that he messaged me all throughout my first year of university being like, why won't you date me? Is it because I'm fat? Da 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 da.
Oh.
Like, freaking out at me. I'm like, no, you gotta stop this.
Yikes.
You gotta stop this.
Yeah.
So, there was that. That was a little fun.
Is there anything that like kept you from dating, or was it just like
Wasn't interested, and I knew, like, especially in high school, I knew I wasn't gonna stay around, so I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, dating is like if I can't picture forever with someone, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right? And like, yeah, you go on like a first date and then that's kind of where you gauge it. Like a first date's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But after that, like, I'm gonna continue to talk to you. I have to see something or the possibility of it forever. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm not here for it. Which seems a little bit all or nothing, but
Well, that's kind of who you
Yeah.
are, though. You go all or nothing into things, very much so.
Yeah. And so in high school especially, it was just like, I'm not staying here and you're not following me around the world like a puppy.
Yeah.
Respectfully. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to compromise my plans
Yeah.
for anyone.
Well, that was another thing that I forgot to mention. Bryce was supposed to come to Halifax with me. We were going to go to university together, and then he just crushed my hopes and dreams. But it was definitely for the best. Oh yeah.
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 But yeah, so that was kind of like my main motivation for not. And like now I'm open to the idea, but it's like if there's any sort of, again, like I said with your roller coaster there,
Yeah.
a fraction of that and I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like, because I had those experiences so young, like, now I'm at a point where I'm like, no, like, this is what I need. Like, I'm not, like, I'll put up with it. Like, oh, you guys have heard how much I put up with it. But, like, I'll put up with it, but at the same time, I'm like, I know what I want, and, like, I know I can go get it. I'm
Yeah.
just, like, I just don't have the time to deal with it. Either situation right now. Like, I don't have the time for, like, this is what I was, like, telling my parents. I'm like, I don't have the time and the emotional capacity to deal with a breakup.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still, like, it kind of landed at the perfect time. Like, where I was just like, there's so many bad things happening in my life where I was just like, you know what? I can handle all this because I'm just going to go into autopilot mode and just zip through work. And that's what I did.
Yeah. It was a rough couple weeks for you.
Every single week I'd come into work and I'd be like, want to hear another bad thing?
Yeah.
No, at this point I can't handle it. It's not happening to me.
Like, I can't hear about it anymore. It's making me stressed. But, yeah, it just, like, kept getting, like, worse and worse and worse, and then, like, the breakup happened, and then, like, some of my other really bad stuff happened, so I was just, like, I have no feelings right now, and, like, still, like, I don't think I've, like, processed any of it still, which is probably for the best, because we're really understaffed, and I don't have the emotional capacity to process things right now, so,
yeah.
But, like, I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm, like, this was, like, a huge issue in my last relationship. I'm so fucking stubborn now. Yeah. Like, you can't get anything through me. And he hates that. Because, like, he'll, like, well, that's not actually true. I think he just makes it up. Because I'll just, like, get to a point where I'm just like, okay, yeah, okay. And he's like, are you listening to me? I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Yeah. I know I'm right. That's the other thing. Oh, this is another thing. I have never dated somebody who's had previous relationships or hasn't been a virgin.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where the whole, like, craziness comes from then?
It's just, like, an immaturity.
From them? Yeah.
No, I know, but lack of, like, that's why each of your situations has been...
Yeah, like, so bad. Not bad. So crazy and, like, whirlwind and, like, up and down. Because, like, I know how to maneuver my way through a relationship now. Mm-hmm. I've been in many of them. And like I'm like, it's not just like I've been in like multiple like short-term relationships. Like the first one was 9 months, second one was 1.5 years, third one was like 3 months, but that was my only good like solid relationship. Love that guy, he's great, like wish him all the best. Fourth one,
why did it end then?
It was like still an immaturity thing where his it sounds so dumb and I feel bad exposing him for this. But his mom didn't want him dating anyone. And so he couldn't like keep coming up with lies to like be hanging out with me. Oh. And so he broke up with me in such an asshole way though.
Is that the moped guy?
No, that was the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. This third one, like he was literally great. Like I have nothing bad to say about him. He, except for the breakup. Because I was in BC. And I was visiting my grandma, and like I just had like such a bad anxiety day, and I was texting him about it and telling him about it. And so then he texts me, he's like, "Are you still anxious?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And he's like, "Okay, good, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Well, fuck, now I am." No. And so he calls me, and he's like, "Yeah, I really hate to do this over the phone, but like we gotta end it." And I'm like, "Where did this come from?" And then he was like I don't know what he was trying to do. But he was like trying to like console me by being like, "Yeah, like it was like good while it lasted, but like I just can't go on." And I'm like, I just like threw my phone and I was like, I don't want to listen to this, but I also can't hang up, so because that'd be rude. So yeah. And then I spiraled like crazy because like my mental health just like took a plummet. I feel really bad for how I handled that breakup, but also like the breakup bad part for me was like a week, so it's been worse before for other people and for myself. But
but it's still something.
And I've apologized for it since.
You have or he has?
I have.
Oh, okay.
And he apologized for his part, and then I took his virginity.
And that was a year after. And a nice plot twist ending.
Just cherry on top.
Yeah,
or the lack of.
I'm like, you're the only one that got away without me taking it. And bring it back.
You get it? You get it?
Oh my goodness. I hate that. I felt that will not be making it. Oh my goodness.
I felt really bad though because I cried when I did it, so. But that's from other trauma, which requires several trigger warnings, so we're not getting into it.
Oh my gosh, okay. Holy cow.
Okay.
That's super fun.
Next.
Oh yeah, you said 4 was how long? Your 4th relationship?
Beginning of June to the end of October, however long that is.
Like of the same year?
6 to 10?
Same year, yeah.
4 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 months.
4 or 5, if you want to count end of October 5.
Felt like a lifetime, and even when I think about it, it felt like so much longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, I actually talked to him recently, and I finally got over it. Oh my god! Now I'm like, I never want to speak to you again, which is probably a lie, but like right now that's how I feel. But he was this guy that I met. We volunteered at a summer camp together 3 years prior to us like dating, and so like I was dating my very first boyfriend, and like we were like 3 months into our relationship at this point, so it was like super new. And I met him when we were working together, and like we weren't like super close at the camp, but like it was very clear that we both thought each other were cute.
Oh yeah.
And like but I was like, I have a boyfriend, and he was like, she has a boyfriend. And so like when nothing ever came of it, like we never talked after that. And then 3 years later, it's my birthday, still no clue. I'd never asked. I don't know why. He got my snap somehow.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like, hey, happy birthday, blah blah blah. And like the day before was a very traumatic day for me. It was where the trigger warnings come in. Yeah. So then it was like so he like started texting me, and I was like just ending my like year-long situationship thing.
Yeah.
I was like, we were like just like done, like not talking anymore, which is for the best.
Yeah.
But he just right from the get-go was like, I like you, I want to date you, blah blah blah. It should have been a red flag in my little brain, but it wasn't, because this was like this was May of like first year of COVID. Okay. So like we couldn't see each other. I had nothing to do. So I was just texting the entire like time. Like I got kind of laid off. Didn't have to do school, like, so I had nothing to do except for talk to this boy. Yeah. So within a month we were dating, which is a very quick turnaround for me. Actually, that's not true. That kind of is. I was like thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that's no. So the last relationship I talked about, it was 15 days after we started talking.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that was way too quick. But
well, I mean, like Bryce and I started dating 2 weeks after we started talking.
Yeah, but how long did you know each other prior to that?
But not well. Like, we'd been in drama class.
Yeah, I knew this kid for 15 days.
Okay, I understand.
And we started dating after 15 days.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
This was also while my dad was dying in the hospital.
Yeah.
He's alive. He didn't die.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows. Yeah. He's doing well.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we started dating, and like he's just the most amazing manipulator I've ever met. Oh. And like I realized that like a lot of my manipulative and bad habits in relationships is from him. Like when I reflect on it, I'm like, I learned that from you. Learned it from the best.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So like,
that's spicy.
Have you guys ever discussed love bombing on the podcast?
I've brought it up a couple times.
I don't think we have.
On the podcast,
no, we haven't. No.
Okay. I'm gonna explain how I experienced it.
Yeah.
So he was like, to be fair, for somebody who's allegedly never dated anyone, because I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. Nothing I believe that he's ever said to me is true.
Yeah.
But he's like very romantic, like would always like bring me like handmade gifts, or like actually buy me stuff, like take me out places, like do everything he could like to be romantic. Like when he asked me out, he planned a picnic at a park.
Yeah.
And he like packed like my favorite food, and then wrote, and then that's where he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then like I wrote him like a letter being like, here you go. This is how I feel about you. But and like was just like very romantic, always giving me stuff, like always taking me nice places, and then just treating me like absolute garbage and making me feel like shit for asking for the bare fucking minimum.
Yeah.
I was like, he was very like, I'm like, oh, I just completely blank because I started thinking about the sex life in the relationship. It's a whole other conversation. But he knew exactly how to make me feel crazy. And it very much showed at our breakup, which I'll get to in a second, but because it's a short relationship.
A lot of gaslighting then?
Oh, extremely. Oh. He like had a lot of like trauma, and like I'll give it to him. Like he hasn't had an easy life. Yeah. But also like you're a piece of shit sometimes. Yeah. He just the first time that I should have noticed a red flag is like we were having sex, and like I didn't really say like yes
Oh.
Well, it was kind of just like, oh, I don't really want to, blah, 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 like, and then we had sex.
Yeah.
And so then I told him afterwards, like, we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like, it was, like, I didn't really want to. And then he came to me the next day crying.
Oh.
And was, like, more upset than I was, and I was like, you don't need to pull all that. You can just say sorry, and we can move the fuck on.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. And so then the next, like, I'm just, like, when I think about this relationship, I'm like, holy God, Alexa, why did you do this to yourself?
Yeah.
So I got to a point where I was like, I actively, like, I should have left, but I guess that's also where, like, gaslighting, manipulating, and love bombing comes in, and, like, dating someone who is narcissistic.
When you're in that situation, it's very hard to see that you're in that situation.
You feel like the crazy person in the relationship. It's hard for me to be like, oh, like, I'm in the right, because no, I didn't feel like I was.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But it was one day that he was over at my house, and I was going to go to his house after and meet one of his friends, and my brother and my sister were there too, and they were going to go back to which is where they used to live.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready in the bathroom and had my vape. I put it down on the counter in the bathroom, and I so vividly remember, like, I can see exactly how I placed it in my head still.
Yeah.
And so then I go to my room quickly to grab some, like, makeup or whatever, and I come back and it's gone.
Oh.
And I'm like, so I just, like, I was like, oh, maybe I misplaced it or put it somewhere, because that happens all the time. So I go around and I'm looking for it, and I can't find it.
Yeah.
And so then I start panicking, because I'm like, did my parents find my vape, and did they take it? Because if so, I'm fucked. And so I'm like, at this point I'm panicking, and I've gotten my sister panicked, and I got my brother panicked, and I'm like, search everywhere. So we tore apart the entire bathroom, tore apart my entire bedroom, tore apart our bonus room, like everywhere that it possibly could have been, we searched for it. Yeah. And now, in the back of my head, as soon as I noticed it was gone, because he was very, like, against me vaping, which is hypocritical, but, like, I can't, like, I'll get back into that again in a second here, but he was, like, very against me vaping for reasons that don't really make any sense once you, like, know him.
Fair enough.
So in the back of my head I was like, did he take it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he's, like, watching me at this point. I brought it up to my sister. I was like, what if he took it? Like, what if he, like, stole it? And she's like, no, he wouldn't do that. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I should ask him. So I asked him, and he was like, no, I didn't. Like, I can't believe you'd even think I did that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, sorry for asking. And so then we continue looking for it. We cannot find it anywhere. So my sister goes and asks him, like, did you take it? Like, if you took it, just give it to me. I'll put it back. Like, I won't tell her. Like, just let me know so we can, like, so she can calm down. Because at this point, I'm, like, hyperventilating and crying because I think my parents have it. Yeah. And so I'm losing my shit. And, like, it's time for all of us to go. And I'm like, well, I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna have to go. Like, I have to leave the house. Like, so we're driving in his car, and I'm still losing it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm gonna be grounded for life. Like, they're gonna be so mad at me. Like, I'm not gonna be allowed to see you anymore. Like, I'm so screwed. And I'm, like, sobbing in his car. Like, he's watching me have a full-on mental breakdown. Yeah. And so then we get to his house, and I just, like, continue. Like, his friend comes over, and I'm like, I can't talk to you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so out of it. I'm having, like, hyperventilating still. Drives me home, and I go back to my house. This is, like, 3-4 hours later. And I go through every single room again, searching for it, whatever, and I FaceTime, and I'm sobbing. I'm like, my parents haven't talked to me, so I don't know when they're going to bring it up, but I also can't find it anywhere. Maybe I lost it. Maybe I put it somewhere. Like, something happened to it. I don't know. Like, blah, blah, blah. Well, sits with me on FaceTime for another hour, watching me frantically search my entire house, having this mental breakdown. And then he hangs up, and then 20 minutes later, I get this long-ass paragraph that starts with, I stole your vape. I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden, like, I was, like, so anxious all day, like, panic, like, sobbing my eyes out hysterically all day long. Yeah. And I just go, like, stone cold, and I'm like, and I call him, and he picks up the phone, he's apologizing to me, and I'm like, I don't care. Bring it to me at school tomorrow, or we're done. I left for BC in 2 days, too. Like, I was going somewhere else. I was like, you bring it to school to me tomorrow, or I'm never speaking to you again. I can't believe you did this to me. You sat there and watched me have, like, a day-long panic attack. Hyperventilating, sobbing, doing everything, like, just a complete mess. And it took you 6 hours at this point to come forward with the truth. Yeah. Like, I gave you the opportunity to give it. My sister gave you the opportunity to give it. And after that, like, at his house a couple times, I asked him more. Like, I'm like, you've had so many opportunities to just tell me the truth. Where I told you, I don't care at this point. I won't be mad. I just need to know. Yeah. So now I'm pissed. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
You had the chance
so
to.
sadistic.
Oh my gosh.
But even worse, I could probably find the text if I wanted to, but it's gonna take me too long. But he was like, he blamed it on his daddy issues.
How?
He was like, well, you just know how I feel about drugs, like with my dad, and like how that like tore my family apart, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck. It's not like I'm snorting coke in the bathroom.
Literally.
Like, you've owned a vape.
Yeah.
When we first met, you lied to our camp counselor, like the counselor who was in charge of us. So he told the counselor that he broke his friend's vape, and his friend was like threatening him, being like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you if you don't give me a new vape or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so she bought it, gave it to him, and then it turned out it was for him. He told me that as we were walking to the park with a group of 5-year-olds.
Oh my
He was like,
gosh.
yeah, I feel really bad for lying about who the vape was for. And I was like, you need to tell her, because if you don't, I will.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is that gonna be the last time we spoke? And now here we are.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure, and then things were like up and down for like after that, and then we broke up. But the breakup kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion.
Oh.
So there's a couple of like sleuthing that I've done where I think he cheated on me, but according to him, he didn't.
Yeah.
But so he met my mom, came up to met my mom, my stepdad, my brother, and stayed with like me, my brother, my sister, met my 2 childhood best friends, and then we get back from that and he stops talking to me. I didn't hear from him for a week.
Oh my
I
gosh.
would just get like a hey, like, oh, I'm busy, whatever. And then he like texts me while I'm at school and he's like, I just don't think things are working out between us, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, I'm in class, and like he was homeschooled. Fucking homeschool
Doesn't look
kids.
good on us.
Yeah. Fucking homeschool kids. They're
Oh,
the weird
jeez.
ones.
Start sweating.
But so he calls me and he's like, I'm again like panic attack, freaking out, because I'm like, you just texted me that at school.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm so confused. And so then this is my I also presented this my clues that he cheated on me to him.
Oh.
this was recently when I like talked to him recently. I was like,
Yeah.
here's why I think you cheated on me. He's like, you're wrong. I'm like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And so,
Yikes.
but during our breakup, he was like, would it be easier for you to handle if I just told you that I met another girl? So that moment has stuck with me.
Yeah.
He made a new Instagram the day we broke up. And then within the month, this makes me sound so fucking crazy, which I was. Within the month of us breaking up, he had a girl tagging him in all of her posts, like them like commenting on each other's posts, and I'm like, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then he's had many, many girlfriends and partners since then, so. And you called me a whore when we first started talking.
Yikes.
He's like, you've dated a lot of people. I'm like, oh, you're one to talk now, my guy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And then, then 2 years later, started talking to him very briefly again, because I'm like, I need to get the fuck over this. Like, this has been like weighing. That's a very tumultuous relationship, and like I said, he was very narcissistic, was very gaslight, gatekeep, girl bossing his way through our relationship, and he just, it's you're welcome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yay, title!
Tyler Quinn's go to Alexa.
But when you're in that situation, it's so hard to get over it, because you're, like I said, I felt crazy in that relationship.
Yeah.
And I acted crazy directly after too, because I was like, I've just been treated like I'm crazy for 4 months straight, and then like I couldn't get over it, because I still couldn't trust that relationship or my perspective of it.
Yeah.
And then I talked to him, and then I was like, he thinks I'm so dumb. It was so funny. So he's like, I wish like I could go back and like change things how they were, like maybe we had a chance to do it again. And I'm like, you don't want that. Like I told him.
Yeah.
I texted back. I was like, you don't want that. And he's like, well, like, yeah, I do. Like I wish like we could like go back and like redo it. And I'm like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, you've had 2 years. And he's like, well, you had a boyfriend last time I talked to you. And I was like, I didn't have a boyfriend for like 6 months after we broke up. You had all that time period to be like, oh, I want her back.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, and then he was I'm like, you just want to have sex with me. Like, that's all you want. If that's what you want, just say it. Like, you don't have to lie. We're not dating anymore. You don't gotta manipulate me. I can do that myself, thank you. But, like, I'm like, I don't get why you're still lying to me when, like, you know I can see through it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why our relationship started to end, is because I started seeing through the bullshit. Right. And then he was like, I can't gaslight her anymore. I don't know what to do.
This isn't working. Yeah. If I can't be toxic, what can I be? Me, not healthy.
So, what are 3 ways that, like, your relationships have shaped who you are now?
It gave me a really good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I got really hot. Yep. Because I just constantly had to be their best looking ex, and it's getting harder and harder to top this. And then I guess just, like, a lot to talk about in therapy. Like, didn't really give me, like, any good, I'd say.
But, like, you know now what to look for in an abuser, which obviously isn't great. But, like, you can see the red flags going into the relationship and know to kind of...
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Except I've had every kind of form of abuse you can have in a relationship happen to me. And guess what? They all look fucking different. So fifth time was the charm. I was like, this is the first one where you're not abusive, just we don't work well together.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Damn. And random kind of question here, too. Do you think your ADHD affects your attachment in relationships at all?
No, I think my daddy issues does. I'm not kidding on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I was working through this with my therapist like 6 months ago. But I was like, yeah, like I love my dad. Like he's always been there for me and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, like, how often did you see him growing up? I was like, well, 4 days out of every month. And she's like, well, where was he otherwise? I was like, oh, like, we'd text sometimes, we'd call, like, he'd try. And she's like, you probably have some resentment towards him that you're just not willing to admit because, like, you need him to be your safe person. And then she said that and it clicked and I was like, ah, shit.
No, we don't like that. Undo.
Like, oh,
where's the rewind?
Command Z.
I'm like, oh, man, I got all, I'm like every parent I have just giving me the issues.
The issues.
I have parent issues.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, she's like, at this rate, you've got parent issues, step-parent issues, you got all, like, she's like, any familiar ties you have, got sister issues. She's like, you probably will have brother issues down the line. I'm like, leave him alone. Keep Tyler out of this.
And here's the older sister savior complex in another human form.
Yeah. We are 3 older sisters.
Yeah. They're like my older sisters, but also my parents, and that stems from my parent issues. I'm like, I see Jody and Michaela as my parental figures. They take care of me, and I just try to impress them.
Mom and dad. Mom and dad.
Daddy Mac and Mama Jubes.
We better not get divorced. We can't add to her issues.
Oh my gosh, that just scared me. And it's not my anxiety that's making me trying to convince you to come to another job with me. It's my I just need my Mom, please follow me.
We really gotta bring up that attachment style episode sooner
We
than
are
I
gonna
thought.
have to, yeah. Like the second week of January.
Yeah.
Do you guys know your attachment styles?
No.
I'm very secure.
I'm very
no
insecure.
Could have told you that one, Michaela.
You asked.
I'm avoidant.
I think Journey's anxious.
No, really? Weird.
If I had to guess, but
Yeah, our personalities really reflect our attachment.
Well, Michaela and I have the same personality.
yeah,
You're just the more anxious version of Michaela.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
we have the same love language, same personality type. Myers-Briggs.
Vastly different human beings.
How many psychological quizzes can we take before we realize, like,
Literally.
before we get a difference? I should say.
We should do that. Let's try that. What other ones can we take? What are you in the Enneagram?
What the fuck is that?
I think that's changed. It's like 7 or 8 though, I think.
Okay. I think I'm a 6 or a 9. Not a 9, I'm a 6. Because
Okay.
9 is like challenger, protector. And I'm like
That sounds like me.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
No, I'm like, no.
You know, we
I
should
have
do
it in my phone.
We should do
somewhere.
it again together sometime because that'd be fun.
We did it last Christmas. Not you and me, but we went to Bryce's family's Christmas, and every once in a while, his dad's obsessed with psychology, so we do like a fun test. We do the family weigh-in, and then we do a psychology test.
Fun. All right, I have one more question for Alexa, and then one more question for Jubes. How has your mental health contributed to your relationships? Or I guess, and we kind of touched on how your relationships contributed to your mental health.
This kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I'm going to be 100% honest here. I am not a fun person to date. Because not only am I severely mentally ill, but I'm also, and this was a huge issue in my last relationship, I'm so forgetful. Like, I will, like, and I also, like, have a hard time distinguishing, like, I can't distinguish reality from what goes on in my head.
I'm slightly delusional.
Yeah. No, it's getting bad. Like, it's like, there's been some nights where I'm like, I can't drive because I'm seeing shit. Like, it's not fun.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, so I have, like, no recollection of anything that happens. And when I do recall it, I'm not a very reliable narrator in my head.
Yeah.
So, not my relationships, these stories, 100% reliable narrator. I was there for it.
Yeah.
And I've burned into my brain. Thanks, trauma. But,
Oh my gosh.
like, I'm not easy, and I'm not an easy person to date. I'm a great person to be friends with because, I'm so funny from all this trauma. It's just pure entertainment.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just makes things difficult because my stubbornness, because I'm a Taurus.
We know
I'm a
this.
Taurus with a Gemini moon, so my emotions are like,
I'm a Gemini rising. I'm a Pisces moon, though.
I'm a Sagittarius for rising. But, yeah, so the Gemini.
Mom and dad.
Yeah.
The genes.
Yeah.
Taurus is the dominant gene, though.
Fuck me, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, my stubbornness makes me, like, you can't tell me what to do, and this has been a consistent issue in all my relationships, but I think it's good because it means I stand my ground on things I feel is important. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't tell me to do something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And, like, again, like, it's been a huge issue, especially in my last relationship. Like, it almost ended a couple times, and then it did.
Yeah.
My stubbornness. But I'm proud of my stubbornness because it means, like, even if you make me think I'm crazy, I'm still gonna fight you.
That's part of the reason why I haven't dated anyways, because that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to drag you around like a puppy, like, living my, like, to do all the things that I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. I'm going to break your heart now, and you're going to have to, like,
Yeah, you're gonna deal.
you have to work through that later, and you're going to realize it's for the best.
Well, that's why I date people who are obsessed with me and, well, for the most part, bend to my will, but it makes me sound really bad. That's not actually what I am. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's, like, some subconscious truth to it, though, then.
I think, I don't know if I necessarily try to. I think it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you attract...
You don't seek that. You just, that's just what you attract.
I think it's because up until this relationship, I had no idea how attractive I was.
Yeah.
And this goes, check out the body dysmorphia episode for more. But,
Episode 9?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have, like, no clue that I was, like, attractive and, like, hot until, like, I, like, just kind of clicked in my brain one day.
Yeah.
But, so I think I just didn't realize that the people I was dating, I was way out of their league.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're obsessed with me.
Well, you accept the love you think you deserve.
Yeah, best
right?
quote ever from my favorite movie.
Yeah.
What movie is that from?
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
/ book, yeah.
Okay.
But I like the movie, because...
I like the movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of the movie. Or not.
Perks of Being a Wallflower and Electric Children.
Electric Children?
It's a really good movie.
Okay. That sounds terrifying.
No.
Okay.
It's an indie film about a ex-Mormon girl running away to live with a rock star in Vegas. So,
Wow.
just one of Julia Garner's first movies.
Wow.
Before
Interesting.
Ozark, before all of that, yeah.
You know Julia Garner from Ozark?
But, like, many things before that, though.
Wait, I'm thinking of someone else.
And I guess so. My last question then for Journey.
Me.
How do I word this? What made you so sure that Bryce was the one, or did you have that gut feeling, or were you just kind of like
Just
hard
happened.
eyes and fell into it, or what? At what point were you like, yeah, I like this kid a lot?
It's a good learning experience for me. Please tell me, Mom.
So this was
Show Alexa a healthy attachment style.
This is so dumb. But it was before we were even dating. I was like walking to my locker and a thought just popped into my head that was like, you guys are gonna get married someday.
Oh, so it's a gut feeling.
And I was like, whoa, no, he has a girlfriend. Like, obviously I'd love for that to be true, but no. And then we were hanging out one day and he was, because I told him my nickname was Jubes, but it was Jubies at that time. And he's like, no, I like Jubes better because I can just see you introducing you and my family. It's like, this is my wife Jubes and these are our little Jubies. And I was like, dead. And and then like a couple weeks later, we had only been dating for like a month or two at this point, and I was like, you do realize we've only been dating for a month or two at this point, and we're already talking about our life when we're married in a healthy way.
It grosses me out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
That's why I can't have healthy relationships. Wow.
So that's kind of how I knew.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So it was a gut feeling then, and then just
I
like
like to
the
think so.
affirmations after that.
Yeah. Or else I'm just delusional and looking for ways to say that, yeah, we'll get married, and then just making it happen.
Wait, can I talk about a cute moment in one of my relationships?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share. Let me impress Mom and Dad. Okay, so this is like really cute because like all of us like friends, like this is my current like complicated thing, but this was like when we were actually dating. So like all of his friends know that our thing is like Marvel movies. Every Marvel movie that's come out since we first started talking, we've seen on or like the day after it's been released. And that's our thing. And then afterwards we'd have like 2-hour long conversations, like deep diving into the like MCU and like all like the intricacies and like talking about comic versus the movies. But the first time where we were both like, and it happened at the same time for us, which is very cute and like
Adorable.
we were like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this person.
Yeah.
It was when he came over one day. It's like a month into us dating, but at this point we'd been like talking for 4 months, so it felt like we'd been dating forever. But we were like sitting on the couch, and he had like his legs out, and I was like had my head in his lap.
Yeah.
And we sat there and we just talked about like Marvel and DC and like video games and like a bunch of like really nerdy shit for like 3 hours. And like after that we both like clicked in our head, was like, oh my gosh, I love this person, because we could both be like our nerdy true selves around each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That's exactly what you want though in a relationship.
Yeah, and then
That's good. That's nice.
So it was like that for a really long time until I was like to be fair, the reason my relationship started getting tumultuous was my fault. It was because I was too stubborn and I wasn't willing to like compromise.
I disagree with that a lot.
Oh no, later down the line it wasn't my fault.
Okay.
No, but like the first time.
I was gonna say the reason you guys broke up is not because you were the issue.
Yeah, it kind of was in the breakup, but that's for another day.
That's like not in.
We both have
you
different
know,
sides of the story, but I know it was a mutual fault at that. You guys
Yeah.
just heard that I'm 100% right, but really I wasn't. But like yeah, like I was.
I don't think you're innocent, but I don't think
No.
you're in the wrong.
I think we're
Yeah.
both just very stubborn people, and neither of us are. He says he's willing to compromise. I'm very adamant I'm not, so at least I'm truthful about it.
Well, she knows what she wants.
Yeah, at least I told him not to listen to this episode prior to.
This whole conversation is reminding me of Xana McCole, because she's very adamant about what she wants, and he's like, yeah, whatever. But I had a very Xana McCole moment the other day where I actually said, are you going to season that chicken? And he had 3 pieces of just plain chicken just on the stove, just cooking, because he was gonna cook it and then take it out, cut it up, and then sauce it and then cook it some more.
Which is not the way I would
What you
go
get for
about
dating
that.
someone who's white.
And then a couple days later, she proceeded to eat 3 cuties in front of me, not offering me once.
I offered you one.
No. One, you're going to a diet journey, is that what you're saying?
Bryce, help me.
choose a
Mom and Dad
serving.
are fighting.
I was like, it was so crazy because I literally go into the kitchen and I start like micromanaging like she did. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I need to leave.
That's funny.
I think what I'm learning here is that the next person I need to date needs to be like a chill and relaxed person, like a go with the flow kind of person, who's actually a go with the flow kind of person, and who is confident in themselves.
Well, definitely.
Catch up if you want to stay with me.
But that's because I'm obviously not very go with the flow and I've got some control issues. But Bryce also likes to control things. But he knows that my desire for control is, if it doesn't follow that way, the fallout is a bit worse than if he doesn't get to control. So he just kind of just lets me do it.
Picture battles.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know we could talk about this for like 2 more hours. I'm going to get you guys to wrap up final thoughts.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna list off my next. These are the things you have to meet to date me.
Okay.
Be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking virgin. I need you to have at least one other girlfriend prior to me. You need to go with the flow, but when you say that, you need to fucking mean it.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to be able to plan dates enough where I don't have to do all that fucking work. And
Yep.
I need you to give me my goddamn space when I need it. I also need you to be able to deal with my needy ass self during my period. And
Mood.
Be nice to me so Bryce doesn't yell at me. Thank you.
That's the advertisement. We'll just like, that'll be our first paid ad promotion. This is your list.
To be nice to me so my mom's husband doesn't yell at me.
If this sounds like you, call 1-800.
That's the reel for this.
We put our own wanted ad. Wanted.
For just $1, you can save Alexa from a lifetime of loneliness.
Not loneliness. We all know I'm gonna date someone. I just don't know how good they're gonna
You
be.
can save her from a lifetime of future relationship trauma.
Yeah.
I guess like my number one at this point, because I hear about it and think about it so goddamn much, is Bryce just has to approve. Mom's boyfriend has to approve.
That's a mood.
Yeah, because that's mom's husband. Don't get it confused.
True, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, final thoughts for you?
I don't know.
No? Nothing?
Nothing exceptional.
Okay.
We love Bryce.
Then
We
we'll end it
love
there.
Bryce.
Yes. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But you can't have mine.
Okay, so we do have a segment today because I thought it'd be really fun. And we're going to try to rapid fire it because I've got a lot and I want to get through a good chunk of them if we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so the segment is He's a 10 but. Yeah. Alrighty.
It's supposed to be a surprise for me, but Journey ruined it.
I didn't know you were going to surprise her. And I was like, I'm so excited for our segment. It's He's a 10 but. And she's like, yeah, Michaela said it was a surprise. And I was like, fuck.
I need to be more explicit
Every
with Journey.
time.
Journey just needs to duct tape her mouth or talk to me first.
I had to ruin the intro of this segment.
Alrighty. He's a 10 but he can't hold conversation.
Oh, like a 4.
1.
Okay.
Can't be doing all the work.
Fair enough.
He's a 10 but he eats fries with mustard.
Oh, 15. 10 out of 10. Marry me right now.
I'd say just a 10. I'm not too picky about what you eat foods with, as long as it's not.
Journey eats fries with mustard.
Yeah.
He's a 10 but he's shorter than you.
I'm so goddamn tall, so I don't.
I know, right?
We're all
tall
5'10".
women.
Everyone I've dated has either been the same height as me or only like a couple inches taller, so I guess like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a 10 but his name is Seth.
Ew. Ew.
My childhood best friend's little brother's name is Seth, but also that guy that I was telling you guys, the phone number I remember, his name was Seth. So like 7.
No, 2. Ew. Maybe 1, actually.
He's a 10 but his top artist is Future.
1. I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't want to know.
Okay.
He's a 10 but you're drunk.
27, probably like a 30 at that point. Anyone's hot if I'm drunk enough.
I don't know. I've never been drunk enough.
He's a 10, but he has an Android.
Ooh. At Bryce in grade 11.
3. Oh, you're gonna look like a 3 with those pixel ass photos.
And you want to know why Bryce got an iPhone? So he could FaceTime his boss. I was living on the other side of the whole country, and all I wanted was to FaceTime. He's like, no, download Skype. Get an iPhone.
That's funny.
He loves his boss more than me, I guess.
He's a 10, but he has a healthy attachment style.
Fuck, it's like a 6. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna go with 10. 10.
He's a 10, but he asks you to split the bill on the first date.
10.
Oh.
I couldn't have you paying for me if it was the first date.
Ew, no, don't put me in that spot. Oh, thanks.
He's a 10, but he gives you driving anxiety.
Ew.
Still a 10 because have you seen me drive?
At my real life boyfriend.
Yeah,
10, I guess, obviously.
He's a 10, but he's terrified of bugs.
Okay, no, that has to be like a 3 because someone needs to kill my spiders.
Probably like an 8 because I grew up with my sister who I had to kill spiders for, so.
Yeah.
He's a 10, but he can cook.
Oh,
Ooh,
fuck.
10.
13.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a 10, but he has no ambition.
Ooh.
Kayla!
These are rather targeted.
You don't be so specific.
I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with 3. Lex gonna go with 10.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's like a 6. It's very frustrating.
He's a 10, but he hates the same things as you.
Ooh, 10.
5.
But does he like the same things or different things?
That's a good question. He's a 10, but he takes amazing pictures of you.
Ooh, 11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 10, but he cares about your interests.
Ooh, 12.
14. And
Love it.
you heard me talk.
He's a 10, but he's too friendly with other girls.
Ooh.
10. I don't really care about that.
2.
I know you have a problem with that.
He's a 10, but he has no sense of humor.
Oh.
Negative 59.
Yeah. Not nice.
He's a 10, but his best friend is his ex.
Ooh.
Again, 10. I don't really care about that kind of stuff.
It would depend on their relationship, but I'm gonna go with a 4.
He's a 10, but he never trims his nails.
Oh.
Ow. That just
Yeah.
hurt me.
What about if you have to cut his nails for him?
2, either way, 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if was anywhere near me.
He's a 10, but he's close with his mom.
Like in a,
Like, in a weird way?
or just like in a, like we're like, you just have a good relationship.
He's just close with his mom.
Like a 5.
Yeah, I need someone with mommy issues too. 5.
And last one, he's a 10, but you wake up to his loud farts.
Ooh.
Like a 7.
Like a 4?
Snoring gets me worse.
Oh, I can sleep through snoring.
I can't deal with snoring. Snoring makes me violent.
Bryce snores and talks in his sleep, and it is so entertaining. I've got like a note of just things he said.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our relationships. Thank you to the Queen of Chaos for joining us again.
Yes.
Anytime.
I'm sure you'll see her a few more times at least, because we can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about you guys, or I talk about this podcast enough at work. Bring me on whenever.
By the way, I was thinking we should do this episode, and I was like, that's a really good idea. We should do that episode.
And this one. Do you want to join?
Yeah, literally.
How many times do you think it'll take before we just have Alexa join SCS permanently? Place your bets in the comments below.
Yeah, literally.
I'm Mak Joy.
I'm Ms. Jubes.
I'm Alexa.
This is Alexa Narang. We will tag her socials again.
Yes.
But you can find her in episode 9 where she talks about her issues with body dysmorphia and eating disorders, and that was a really fun one.
That was a really good episode, yeah.
And this is a really funny one to combat the intensity of that last one.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
We should do an episode where I don't talk about my trauma.
That's what we talk about here, though. That's what we unpack all the time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so we are sometimes Ciabatta Slaps. You can find us on all social media.
Yep.
If you are listening to this, please give us a like, comment, review,
Yes.
rate. Everything helps. We've seen a lot of traction, and we want to keep this
That's what we
traction.
like.
We like traction.
Tell me I'm pretty in the comments. Thank you.
Yes, if you listen to this, compliment Alexa.
I need to, really. And Michaela. Just tell us all we're pretty.
Bye, ttfn.
Cameron's like, you guys are done. And that's a wrap.